Welcome back. Now, we would like to understand what just went wrong in our last test. So, we have remembered, if you remember, we have written a test for our calculator controller. So, we had add method, subtract, multiply, and we wrote a calculator controller test class where we wrote one scenario to test this add positive scenario and another to test add negative scenario. Similarly, two scenarios we wrote for testing this subtract method and one scenario for multiply. But this class and what we did is we added this as a dependency here and asked Mockito to give memory to it with the help of @inject mock annotation. We did that and everything was perfectly working fine. But now what we try to do is we have this property controller class and it has this save property method which takes the property object. So what we did, we wrote a property controller test class. That's fine. Then we again injected this property controller here, property controller, and we said @inject mocks, @inject mocks. Let's check. We did that. Yes, we did that. So this is our property controller. We wanted to test its save method. So we created property controller test. And here we wanted to do the testing. So we wanted to make a call to the property controller. So we injected the property controller. So now Mockito will give memory to it and inject it in this property controller test class. Perfect. So where's the problem? So one thing that came new that was not present in our previous calculator controller was from there is also here the service layer. We say property service. And similarly there is also a property repository layer. Property repository. And then we have the database. So now from the property controller save property method there is a call being made to property service save method, and from here there is a call being made to property repository save method, which means there is a dependency of property service inside this property controller. And when it was this program was run by Spring was giving memory to this. But now Spring is not running this program. Who is running Mockito? It's JUnit Mockito. So who should give memory to this? So in our test class, somehow we have to tell, well, there is a dependency that you will find here. And in that, when you encounter that dependency, make sure to give the memory to that dependency as well. Otherwise, you will get null. Hence, in our test class, we have to also keep the property service and annotate this with @mock. As soon as we will do this, Mockito is going to give memory to this and inject this inside the controller here, which means this will get memory. So when our test will run, controller will get memory, service will get memory. Hence, controller will be called and from there service can be called. Perfect. Let's look at how we can do this in the code. So here we are in the controller. So now inside this controller method, there was a call to this service. So we will take this and copy it, go to our service and here we paste it here. And here we will say @mock. So Mockito will give memory to property service and it will inject this dummy slash proxy property service object inside the proxy object of property controller. This is what it will do. Proxy slash dummy. Let's write it that way. So now a dummy object will be created for property service and it will be injected to the dummy object of property controller. So when there will be a here, when the program flow will here, it won't be null. Let's go ahead and debug it and see. If I click on this, I will see what is happening. So our test is stopped here, and now if I hover on it, this is no more null. You see, it is a date. It has an object called mock provided Mockito. So if I move forward, we will have another problem which we will fix it, but at least the null pointer exception is gone, and it's going to now return from this method, and it's going to go back to the controller to the controller test class. Here we will get this data which is 200. Okay, but you see there is no data inside that because it did not save it. So hence our test will fail this time as well, but this time it will fail for another reason. So let's go ahead and fix this problem as well in the next video. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.